A very good morning, beautiful Monday morning. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for taking the time to hook up with me on Motivation Monday on Jam 316. Brand new week, looking forward to amazing things, and I know that God is faithful. So, what is that one thing you've been telling yourself, or maybe it's several things? You keep telling yourself, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. 2 months later, 3 months later, 4 months later, 5 months later. It's like the husband who said the wife is always complaining. He never takes the trash out. And he tells the wife, when you told me 5 months ago, I said I will do it and I'll get to it, I'll do it. Procrastination. How do we overcome it? We've all been there, where we say we will do something, but months later we've never actually gotten to do it. We have so many plans in our minds, but we never really get the opportunity, not even the opportunity. We never even get to the place where we actualize them in real life. They remain plans. You've always planned to start a business. You've always planned to do this. So how do you beat that? That's the discussion we will be having today on Motivation Monday. But even as we get into that discussion, I want you to tell me, what is that one thing? Just pick one. You may have a list of 10 or 15. I don't need all of them. I just need one, because I want that by the time we are done with the show today, that I will inspire you enough, and my guest will inspire you enough to actually begin to do something. What is that one thing you've always been telling yourself you will do, or one thing you know you ought to do, but you've never really gotten to do it? 20316 SMS line, WhatsApp number 0786 316 316. Those are the numbers to SMS or WhatsApp me on, as we will be getting into our discussion on overcoming procrastination on Motivation Monday. As you do so, and don't say you'll send me the SMS tomorrow or next week. No, send it in now. Don't procrastinate over that one as well. Motivation Monday, karibu sana. Thank you for taking the time to hook up with us today. And I'm asking you, what is that one thing you've been postponing? Procrastination. You've been saying, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, but you've never actually gotten to do it. SMS is coming in on 20316. I have Wairimo from Ruiru. You say, I know I have to start a girls' ministry and work with rural churches, but I've been postponing because I'm not qualified. Or rather, you tell yourself you're not qualified. Alice in Nakuru, you say, what I procrastinate most about is waking up at 4:30 to do Bible study and some exercises. It has become a real struggle. I have another one here that says, around last year, November, I wanted to plant coriander, which I never did up to this time. I keep telling myself I will farm it. What about you? What is that thing you've been telling yourself you'll do, but you've never actually gotten to do it? In studio with me today, via Zoom, trainer, mentor, James Karundu. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great and looking forward to this session.
It's good to have you. It's been a while since we interacted.
Yeah, but you see, I see you the uko kwa mitambo, so I'm really...
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Maybe you can begin by explaining to us what procrastination is, because I think that's important.
Well, procrastination is this state of mind that, kind of just invades your mind, your whole being, that tells you that maybe I should hold on. Maybe it's not the right timing. Maybe I should not do it. It's a state of mind that causes many to sell themselves from their dream, from their passion. Mm-hmm. And the bottom line is this: that thing remains undone.
Aha, so it remains undone. So if I put off something for later and then I eventually end up doing it, that may not be procrastination, because sometimes we try and prioritize things.
Well, there is an element of prioritization.
Yeah.
So there are two elements of procrastination. Mm-hmm. There is the procrastination of, I need to do this now. And the procrastination we're talking about is the one where you have a burning thing you've been wanting. You've gotten an inspiration. You've gotten a download. Mm-hmm. You've gotten a moment of clarity. You're usually, it's at that point of elevation, the thing that's going to give you the breakthrough. Most of the times, that is the one we procrastinate about. Ooh. Other things about priority, this and this, that's fine. But usually the conversation here is more about the very thing that is going to give you the breakthrough. Most people procrastinate at junctions. Most people procrastinate when they're at crossroads. And the very thing that they need to do, that's the very thing that they procrastinate about.
Explain what you mean by crossroads.
Well, the crossroads is this. Look, I have this idea, and I need to make a decision whether to move on with it.
Okay.
I've done all the hesabu, I've done the calculations, I've tested, I've done this. Now all I need to do is just make that move to start. So and then the moment you start doing it, all the doubts, all the overthinking goes in overdrive. So a lot of people start overthinking. A lot of people start thinking, maybe I'm not meant to do this. I had somebody who said, maybe I'm not qualified.
Yes.
And the truth is, you will almost always be unqualified, in quotes, from the way you're thinking. The qualification comes when you start.
I like that. When you start. So why do we behave like that? What are some of the reasons why we procrastinate over important issues?
Yeah, I mean, okay, are you asking about just the state of human beings and how we are? I mean, okay, well. But the point is this, there's always fear. There's always fear. There's always fear behind this. There's always something that gets triggered and activated when you're going for something bigger than where you are. So there's always an instinct, it's always the flight, or what is that called? I mean, there's somebody holds back instead of moving forward. So it's a natural instinct for our safety, right from the cave man and woman days. Yeah. So
you're trying to protect yourself because of moving into uncharted waters.
Yes, and yet it is the moving in uncharted waters that has brought all progress in mankind. From the days of Christopher Columbus, just getting into the sea, and so something gets triggered, a natural instinct gets triggered. So, well, maybe this is good news for somebody, that there is nothing wrong with you, okay? That we just need to get into the habits and the mode. We just need to work to overcome that natural instinct to hold back when you are at the border of something bigger than where you are.
Okay. But referring to the individual who talked about feeling like they're not qualified enough, I'm wondering, does it also have anything to do with self-esteem and how I look at myself?
Well, it's a huge mix of things kind of bubbling in between, not feeling good enough, imposter syndrome. Who am I to think about this? The voice of the person who told you, who criticized you when you're 4 years old, the day you did it and then you failed. The once beaten, for most people, it's not even twice. Twice is the normal. For most people, it's 10 times shy. That sort of thing. I mean, so it's normal to feel fear. It's normal to have butterflies. It's normal to feel that I want to hold back. The only thing is this, that's normal, and that should not hold you back. You must act in spite. And I'm going to be sharing a few tips and strategies on how to get moving on what you've been procrastinating.
Is this something that affects a lot of people, or we just have a few chosen ones?
Okay, let's put it this way.
Yes.
I think it's a pandemic that afflicts everyone, and there is no one who does not experience that thing of kind of holding back, that little voice. It's just that the people who succeed have found a way to short circuit that. They've made a habit of getting into action. They have some systems and structures that have put in that help them to get ahead of that thought, to get ahead of that. And really, that's really the difference. Otherwise, everyone experiences it.
Yeah.
Fear, imposter syndrome, I'm not good enough. What am I thinking? And especially if you stumble a few times. Especially if you stumble a few times when you're starting, and then you think, maybe that's a signal I'm not meant to do this. The truth is, if you can feel it in your heart, and especially if it's a calling to make a difference, and including that payment of dowry, it's something that you've really got to work on, So maybe somebody's keeping a scorecard and you've never gone. So, learning to trust yourself really, James, is the idea here. Learning to trust yourself, learning to tune in, and just starting to take baby steps. I've given you the answer.
Baby steps.
It's baby step. It's always baby steps. And I want to challenge the people who are listening. If in the next 30, 40 minutes, when we go on break, they can start taking baby steps. And you start realizing that baby steps don't kill you. You know, most of the times it's a phone call you need to make. Most of the times it's an email. Most of the times it's a small action. Start small, create momentum. And if you can get into the habit of action taking, especially early in the morning, and that's how you create a momentum. I'd like to challenge, you know, people listening to us here to take a bold step, a baby step. That's all it takes. Most people, James, are just one step away from the breakthrough, one step away from the destiny connector, one step away from the blessings, one step away from the very thing that is going to get you moving to where you want. So let's stop overthinking it and follow Nike's advice.
Just do it.
One baby step at a time. I don't know if we have takers for this challenge, that in the next 10 minutes, somebody to take a baby step, just to take the first step. That's all it takes.
Wow. You know, sometimes I listen to, especially Christians, believers, and sometimes we tend to put a lot of spiritual connotations on some things. And sometimes I'm wondering, really, is it, you know, because you can hear somebody saying that it's a spiritual attack over my life. I can't seem to be able to move ahead. And I keep wondering, does that hold water, or is it just bad habits we have formed?
I think, granted, there is time you're going to be under spiritual attack. However, that symptom is going to be much different than the one we are talking about now.
Yes.
You're getting the point.
Yes.
So what we're talking about is just laziness. It's just not having structure, not organizing yourself. And the simple things as the challenge I've just given. And sometimes we are not in the right ecosystems. Maybe you're not in places where people are taking action. So you think that people don't take action.
Wow. Goal setting. Does it connect anywhere with procrastination?
It connects so much. And let's put it this way, unless you're intentional, unless you set a goal. You know, a goal is a GPS setting. I mean, and it's something that hopefully it's something bigger than where you are. So put a GPS setting. The only thing that remains is to start the baby steps. And you see, there's fear of failure. The truth is this, you cannot really fail. The only thing you can fail to do is to start and be in action. Because when you start, obviously you'll stumble. You know, you will, you know, that's just normal. But you're going to find your footing. And you cannot find your footing unless you get started. So, first of all, if you don't have goals, then you have nothing to worry about, because you're not going to get that instinct to do something. But however, most of the times, you know, goal setting is always it. And for the person who says 1st January, I'm going to start exercising. And then, of course, by 3rd, even before the New Year fever is over, they have stopped. Maybe they did not set themselves up for success. There is a way in which you can set yourself up for success. And maybe that's something that we can discuss. When I set up my goal, how can I set up for myself? How can I rig the game in my favor so that I can achieve what I want?
Okay. That sounds interesting. That sounds like something we want to listen to. Everybody wants to succeed, but many of us don't know how to begin and how to get there. So, is it important for somebody to understand themselves? Because there's a word you've used there, and it's a word none of us likes to be called: lazy. You know, is it important for me to come to terms with where I am and who I am if I am to make a change? Because we have this habit of lying to ourselves in our minds. You know, so maybe I need to come to a place where I tell myself, James, the honest truth is that you are lazy. Lazy. And you need to start changing that. Is that important?
First of all, you know, when you're saying James and I'm James, I'm like, I'm hit by blood.
I should have said James.
But the point is this.
Yes.
Okay, well, anyway, but the point is this. You're right. But this is what's interesting, is that many people need that proverbial kick in their behind. Let's just put it plainly.
Yes.
I mean, And it is true, it's laziness. I mean, to say ukweli.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, most of the times it is mind over mattress. I mean, that for 30.
I've heard of mind over matter. I've never heard of mind over mattress.
It's mind over mattress. I mean,
Yes.
Jameni, I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. Get 5 people to call you at 4 or 5 and get you to wake up. You will wake up. I mean, it's doable. It's so most of us, I guess, we've kind of learned to just to allow that laziness to creep in. In other words, we think that if you fail the first time, and granted, you will not master this the first time. That's why I say baby steps.
Yeah.
That's why I say create an ecosystem, create accountability. Create, rig the game in advance.
To your favor.
To your favor. And I'm going to be sharing some ideas on how you can rig the game in your favor so that you can start the battle to end procrastination. This curve must be flattened.
Yeah, there's another curve that we also need to flatten. Let me hide my curve. But as you say that, I'm thinking, I actually lost 2 teeth because of procrastination. You tell yourself,
Yes.
I'll go see the dentist. I'll go see the dentist.
Yes.
Almost a year later, you've never gone to see the dentist, and you only go because now the pain is unbearable. And by the time you're going, the tooth cannot be saved. And I'm saying that to say some of us only respond to emergencies. I don't know what your thoughts on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the emergency becomes the kick in the behind. The emergency becomes the awakening. I mean, in the pandemic season we are in,
Yes.
and I liked what you said, that these too shall pass. A lot of people have gotten that awakening. A lot of people have gotten into forced evolution. There's the way Kenyans we say, hakuna otherwise.
Yeah.
This season has caused forced evolution. I mean, I heard what you're saying about the person who was supplying to uniforms to schools and so on and so on. And what's interesting, sometimes we think sina otherwise, so there's nothing I can do. Remember, it's about overthinking it, and you're forgetting that the Almighty has given you medulla oblongata. They've given you, a thinking tool. They've given you imagination. You can envision. And while we might be in a lockdown, you see, your mind is not locked down.
I love that.
That's what I'm saying. You can rig the game in your favor. And truly, we've been given a gift in a way by the forced evolution that even when kids are away for these 6 months, I mean, this is a time to get something done, James.
I love that.
This is the time to, let's get some lockdown dividend. I mean, kwani kitu gani nyingine unangojea? Look, you have the time, you can do it.
Wow, I like that. Do you have any questions for us today? We want to help you to move forward. That thing you have been saying you will do. We want to give you tips on how you can rig the system to your favor. I like that, so that you can succeed. So send us an SMS with your questions. 20316 SMS line. WhatsApp number 0786 316 316. Hata kama umeprocrastinate kupeleka mahari, even that one we can give you tips. Thank you so much for tuning in to Motivation Monday. Today we are talking about overcoming procrastination. Joining us via Zoom is mentor and trainer James Karundu. Your questions are coming through on 20316, WhatsApp 0786 316 316. Hope from Nakuru says, my studies is just one of the most procrastinated things in my life. I'm still in high school and it sometimes doesn't make sense why I should do it, but I do need to. Question is, what should I do? Seems like probably they've stayed in high school for quite a while, and they're thinking, is there really a point in finishing this thing?
Well, let's put it this way. There's always a cost to procrastinating. There's always a return on inaction. There's always a price to pay. And let's look at the high schooler who has been a perpetual procrastinator, if I got it right. There's the lost opportunity. This person wants to have a better life, so you lose the opportunity to get the education that will connect you with the skills for that are going to lead you to what it is that you want to do. You see, it's always a series of steps. It's always a series of steps. It's always a series of steps, where, there's this thing of 6 degrees of separation.
Yes.
So you're thinking it's a straight line. It's never a straight line. It's always a series of zigzags. It's always a series of loops and seeming meanderings and so on. And that's why it's important to have a goal. So I would ask what's your big goal in life?
Yeah.
What do you feel, even at maybe possibly it's a teen, or possibly it's somebody who is, on the upper teens and so on. And they're thinking, I would ask them, what is your passion? What do you want? What change do you want to see in the world? What is it that you're frustrated about in the world? What change do you want to make?
Okay.
I would get this person to get clarity on that. And then from there, I would connect it with, if you don't get that education, you will not get the skills that are going to help you to make the change you want to bring in the world.
I think there's something important that you mentioned there in passing. Maybe you could highlight on it a bit. You talked about opportunity, and I recognize there are some opportunities that have a very limited shelf life, and if we don't act on them, we miss out on them, and we keep praying for breakthroughs that never seem to arrive.
Yes, and remember we said habits have it.
Yeah.
So if you get into the habit of learning to trust yourself, when listening in, when the impulse to take action comes, and when you have that moment of clarity, you take action, that is how you're going to be now seizing the moment. Get into a habit of seizing the moment, especially if you're in entrepreneurship. And kama sasa ni wakati wa mask, tunangojea corona ishe, you go into mask business. Really?
Yes.
This is the time.
Yes.
Learn to recognize the opportunity. And I keep saying learn to recognize. And that's why you've got to structure your life a little bit better.
Okay.
Wake up early. Have moments of introspection. Have, declutter your life. Have a clear mind. And get into habits. Because opportunities, so many people are losing so many opportunities. And the opportunity especially to make a difference, to make an impact, to make an income, just because of a thinking or just because of that lazy thing. Okay. And that's why sometimes, that kiboko sometimes is what is needed, metaphorically.
Yes.
Sometimes shida ndio inakupatia kiboko. Don't wait for shida to give you kiboko.
Very true.
Start the habit now and start with small things so that you can become a better action taker.
Listen to this one. This one says, there are those people who I need on my side. Otherwise, I will not have the kind of support I require. Most importantly, my spouse. So, should I go on without them? Because without their understanding, they might not believe that I keep coming home late because I'm working on my dream late in the office.
But I have a whole write-up on that, by the way. Because
really?
It's a question I was anticipating. Yes, exactly.
Good. Give it to us.
So, I was hoping you'd say. I was hoping you'd say, "Bring it on," but I'll go with that one.
Yes.
Let's put it this way. Again, remember the habits. We've gotten into a habit of looking for approval. We've gotten into a habit of waiting. In fact, I have it here that you always have to get watu forte.
Yes.
It's a good idea.
Yes.
So I would not look at that thing of I don't have the support of my family or spouse, or they don't understand, they don't support me. I mean, that's the real life. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
You'll never get the full support of everyone around you. So get out of that. The question is, how do I navigate this? So, and a lot of people are waiting for permission. They are waiting for permission. They are waiting for approval. They are seeking approval. Do you think it's a good idea? Stop that. Wachana na hiyo leo. Start learning to trust yourself. And for the case of the people around us and so on, you have to think in terms of the bigger picture here. This breakthrough that I'm working on, if it comes through, it's going to be of benefit to everyone.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you want to get less and less into permission mode, more and more into taking action and asking for forgiveness later. But my point is this.
Yes.
Yeah. So you'll never get all the approval you need.
Yeah.
What you need is you get started. And usually usually, even for us, if my daughter comes and says, Daddy, I want to do this big thing, there's always a chance I'll be a little bit skeptical.
Yeah.
So learn to live with that. Learn to live with that.
Okay.
And prove yourself. Do your thing. I mean, well, yes.
Do your thing. Wow. We have about 3 more minutes. How do you want to wrap this up?
Fantastic. Thank you. I've got it ready for you here.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. Anyway, for somebody watching this is a call to action for you. And I want to remind you that you're one step away. You're one step away from your breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
You're one step away from your blessing. You're one step away from the destiny connector you've been praying for. You're one step away from discovering your big idea. And so you're one step away. And remember, the habits have it. It's always about baby step. Take a baby step. Learn to take the baby step.
Yes.
Start getting the right communities, people you can work with, people you can walk with and become accountability partners, people you can challenge yourself, create like a chama of action takers.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any, start looking around. Don't walk alone. Stop flying solo. Get help. Get a coach, get a mentor, get your own community. It's quite easy. Create a WhatsApp group. They have this goal, including the people who have never paid dowry. Get a community of that, of that, and then say, this year, your dowry lazima tulipe. Let's support one another. I mean, lazima tulipe hii mwaka, so something like that. So, but the point is this. You're one step away. That's really my parting shot.
Okay.
You're one step away, and when the idea comes, seize the moment, go for it, get it done.
Awesome. James Karundu, thank you so much for availing yourself to talk to us. Somebody says, make sure you invite James to come back and talk to us about proper goal setting. We'll make a date and invite you to talk to us about that. So thank you and have a great day. I hope now...
Super, thank you and all the best.
Yes. I hope now you don't have excuses. Get that thing done. Baby steps. What can you begin to do right now, today, to move an inch closer to what you need to do? That's all the time we have for our discussion for today. I know it was beneficial to you now. Kazi Kwako, put some feet to the information that you've gotten.
For this and more of our shows, log on to www.familymediaonline.com to enjoy a wide variety of programs, from current affairs to testimonials and features, pastoral and inspirational shows, kids entertainment, and so much more. Also stream live on www.familymedia.tv.